Are you aware that the master musician never produces mediocrity? The master painter takes pride in producing his masterpiece. Why do you think that the master of all masters produces substandard? You are not a substandard people, but yet you see yourself as that unique work of art, that painting, only to be hanged on the wall. This is what most of you do to yourselves. You have been molded, you have been shaped in the image and liking of the Most High, but yet you settle to be average. You are not a substandard people. Today is the day that you need to take your masterpiece from upon the wall. You need to recognize that within you, you have a masterpiece. You have a masterpiece that can do wonders in this world. But you have to make a conscious and deliberate decision that you want to get in touch with your masterpiece. You want to mold your masterpiece. You want to give your masterpiece an opportunity to shine and touch and transform the lives of people all around you. You are not a substandard people. It is time that you start to see yourself for who you are. It is time that you start to invest in you and invest in everything around you. It is time that you start to invest in people. You see, this is the only way to experience self-fulfillment in your life. It's the only way to experience self-fulfillment. Today I will talk about relationship mastery. And the key focus is to bring you to that point, to come to that realization where you understand the importance of building healthy, productive relationship that benefits all stakeholders. You know, John 3:16 is a beautiful statement. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, for whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. God made his Son a sacrifice for our sins. What sacrifice are you making for the people who you hold most dear in your heart? Are you making the sacrifice for your family, your loved ones? Are you making the sacrifice for your communities? Are you making sacrifice to add value to people's life in the organization? Are you making the sacrifice to add value to people's lives in your country? Are you making the sacrifice to add value to people's life in the world? We'll talk about all of that today. But I just want you to ponder a little bit upon the words that was stated, taken from the Bible, John 3:16. The master creator of all creators he made sacrifice for me and you. And this is a time for each and every one of us to start making sacrifice for the people in and around our lives. I want to show you that this is the only way we can come to that point of experiencing self-fulfillment in our lives. For you to build healthy relationship with people, you have to love people. You have to learn to love people with their good and their bad and their in-betweens. Love has the power to change the frequency of people's lives. Let me repeat that. Love has the power to change the frequency of people's lives. You want to become a master of building relationships? You must learn to genuinely love people with a passion. Martin Luther King did this. Nelson Mandela did this. Mahatma Gandhi did this. Christ himself did this. You have to be prepared to invest your time, your talent, and your resources to add value to people's lives all around you. Today is so special. It is so special because it is an opportunity for me to connect with you, to really help you to understand how to become the master of building healthy, productive relationship that has the currency, that has the frequency to touch and transform the lives of people all around you and significantly add value to your life. The three things that I want you to take away from here, this podcast today, is time, talent, and resources. We'll talk a lot about leveraging your time to add value in this world. We'll talk about leveraging your talent to add value in this world. And we'll talk about leveraging your resources to add value in this world. Let's start to talk about time and how you can leverage your time to add value to people's life. As we look at time and leveraging your time to add value, the first thing you need to look at is leveraging time for you. You heard me right. You need to leverage time for you. You must make a commitment every day of your life to honor you, to add value to your life. You want to keep being better than you were yesterday. You don't want to compete with anyone. You just want to make that commitment to become the best brand of who you are. You can only come to that point of becoming the best brand of who you are. You could only come to that point of adding value in this world largely based on how you build your substance up. You have to build your substance up with relevance to people's needs and hopes and aspirations, and then you have to create leverage. You must invest in you. You see, when you come to Success Accelerator Club and when you get in touch and you become a part of the Success Accelerator Masterclasses, These are all programs that helps you to understand how to manage time, how to use time, how to leverage time to add value at every area of your life. You know, most of you give time to everything. You give time to your academics. You give time to your friend. You give time to your work. You give time to everything but you. You see, the only way you could add value to yourself and to the world is when you make that solid commitment to you. So the first thing I want you to think about as we look at relationship mastery is about adding value to yourself. You can only give what you have. It's impossible for you to give what you don't have. So my advice to you is for you to build yourself up with substance. Build yourself up with substance that is relevant to people's needs, to people's hope, to people's aspiration, and live your life to honor their dreams, to honor their hopes, and to honor their aspirations. And great things will unfold in your life. Let's look at another area of managing your time and leveraging your time to add value. There are many of you today who have a family life. You have a son, you have a daughter, you have a wife. But what commitment are you making to add value to their lives? In my book, Self-Application Best Practices, Transforming the Minds and Cracking Billionaire Codes, I talk about these issues. And I help you to understand that in life, if you can't measure it, you can monitor it. And if you can't monitor it, you cannot control it. What steps are you taking to ensure that you are constantly monitoring and controlling and adding value to your family lives? Do you have a clear sense of understanding? Do you have a clear plan that says, this is where I am today and this is where I want us to be tomorrow? And these are the steps that I must take to get us to the point of attaining victory. Stop treating your family as a trivial subject matter. They are asset. They are valuable people. And you must invest your time to add value to the lives of your family every day. It's not necessarily about the big things. It's about the simple things that has lasting impression on the lives and the minds of your child, your children, your loved ones. Invest your time in them. And as you grow through this process, you can also start to look at the kind of contribution that you can make to your community. In my book, I speak about this issue also. You see, when you get involved in community activity, these things helps you to assert your individuality. And by asserting your individuality, it helps you to connect with yourself. It puts you in touch with your DSS, your deeper sense of selves. And here is where you get an opportunity to truly understand the things that you are passionate about, the things that you want to be purpose-driven about. It helps to put you in touch with your gifts. And the more you become comfortable and giving service in these areas, your passion certainly shines as your gifts. And as you move from your community, I want you to look at your organization. I want you to not just go to your organization for the sake of work and you're just working for the sake of pay. You want to get to your organization because you want to be passion-filled. You want to be passion-led. You want to be able to make such a contribution to change and add value to your organization that you must shine. So whenever someone tried to rain on your sunshine, you have a track record that say that don't try it. Because my sunshine is so hot, I'm going to turn you into hot water, I'm going to turn you into vapor, and I will vaporize you. You have to serve with a passion. And as you step out of your organization and you become more comfortable with who you are, you can now start to look at the kind of contribution that you can make to your country. It is foolish to think that as a citizen of a country, you don't want to play a role in national development. Whether or not you know it or not, as a taxpayer, you are making a contribution to national development. And it's important that you start to play a role in the country that you want. You need to know that you're making a contribution to add value to your country. If even it's to ensure that you can make a contribution to the educational system. So it's to ensure that the kind of education that our youths are exposed to, they can become the next generation of global thinkers. They can become the next generation of social actors. They can become the next generation of transformational leaders. You have the potential to achieve these things. You know, don't be like that masterpiece, that unique work of art, that painting that is only made for the wall. It is time that you take your painting down from the wall, which is right within you. It is time that you polish that gem right within you, and it is time that you give that gem an opportunity to shine. You have the potential to achieve great things if you believe it, and you take a formative action to make great things manifest in your life. You will embrace your dreams. And as you become comfortable in making a contribution to your country, and as you move closer to self-actualization, you can start to ask yourself, what role can you play to make our world a better place? You have such potential, and the reality is that you're overflowing with potential that in your lifetime, because you are so gifted with talents and greatness, you will never ever be able to tap into your greatness, because your greatness is so great. You're so blessed. Are you aware that most of us in our entire life cycle uses less than 5% of our brain power in our entire life cycle? What will happen if you can use 10% of your brain power? What happens if you can use 15% of your brain power? What happens if you can use 20, 30, and 40% of your brain power? The wealthiest people in the world today, the wealthiest people in the world of yesterday, still did not even use 10% of their brain power to achieve what they have. You just think about it. What will happen if you start believing in yourself and you start to leverage yourself to achieve greatness in and around you? I'm going to say this to you. You're the only person who is limiting you. I don't want to hear no one is trying to put up barriers to your success. You have to take the power back from them. They never had the power. The power that you give them is in your mind. And when you believe in yourself, you take authority of your life. And when you take authority of your life, you mold it, you shape it, and you leverage it in the direction in which you want it to go. So as a man thinketh, so is he. And I keep saying, if there's a mountain, you can cut through that mountain. If there's a mountain, you can go over that mountain. If there's a mountain, you can go around that mountain. My friends, today is a day that I want you to start to think not in problems, I want you to become the solution-driven person. And let me tell you a secret. I've studied Cambridge, I've studied American University, and you know what? Your study is largely about fixing the problem in the world. At the end of the day, when you finish with all that studies, is to get to the corporate sector, is to get to the public sector, is to get to civil society to fix problems. This is what we do. So you now have to develop a solution-driven mindset. You have to align that mindset to your passion, and you got to serve in alignment with your passion. I want you to commit to add value to the world. I want you to commit to build healthy, productive relationship with people. It is only through building relationship, quality relationship with people, that great things can happen in your life. In my book, I clearly state that relationships is the mother of all social systems. Relationship is the mother of all social systems. I will explain that to you in another podcast. I want to talk about your talents. I've been talking about your time and how you can leverage your time. Let me talk about your talents before I talk about resources. You know, there are many of you who would say that I don't have talents, and because I don't have talent, I can't give service. Well, I want you to stop saying that. I've just shown you when I talk about time and how you can leverage time, you need to commit to add value to your life every day. And when you add that value to your life, you will start to see that your talent starts to emerge. Your talent could be a great speaker. And one of the great speakers that I admire in the world of the then and now is Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King was a Baptist minister, a leader of a civil rights movement organization, who was very passionate about people. And at a time of his life, he see a lot of atrocity was taking place in the world, where there was segregation and where there was oppression. And what he did, he used his talent to speak up and to speak out. The great mind that say, I have a dream. And part of his dream manifested when Obama took office. He had a dream. Years before his time, he had that dream. Dreams can be made real, in the words of Martin Luther King. These guys give service. What dreams do you have for yourself? What dreams do you have for your family? What dreams do you have for your community? What dreams do you have for your country? What dreams do you have for your organization? What dreams do you have for the world? Real things are made of dreams. Another great mind that we had who really leveraged his talent was Nelson Mandela, an anti-apartheid revolutionary, politician and philanthropist. These guys, yes, they may have had multiple talents, but what they did, they used that talent to fight for your interest, to fight for people's interests. And because of the significant role that they played to give service to humanity, they have made a significant role in changing the frequency of time. They have made a significant role in changing the frequency of how people relate to people in the world. What steps are you taking to make a contribution to add value in people's lives? You have to change their frequency from a negative to a positive. These are great minds. Another great mind that I really admire a lot is Mahatma Gandhi. Non-violence, civil rights, civil disobedience, a barrister at law. Great minds. great examples of giving service to humanity. We have to love our brothers and sisters enough that when we see wrong is taking place in the world, we have to stand up for what is right. We don't have to be violent. As I said before, love has the frequency to change the heart and hearts of man. You can demonstrate love. You can demonstrate compassion. You can give yourself the opportunity. You can give yourself permission to show compassion. And you can influence the world. You can change the negative frequencies of the minds of men. Let's talk a little bit about resources, because in the world today, we have people like Bill Gates, we have people like Warren Buffett, we have people like Steve Jobs, and these are some of the guys who continue to make significant contribution to change the frequency of human lives. The Rockefellers, regardless of some of the next, they have so much of positive about them in terms of making contribution to add value to people's life. It is because of some of their investments that some of the biggest banks in the world are able to have monies to do work in countries. And because of those monies are able to filter down to different institutions, to build roads and build bridges, and to address AIDS and cancer, to address malaria. These people make significant contribution to add value to people's life as a part of their way of mastering relationships. It's important that you set yourself up to become a relationship mastery, a master of relationship, to put yourself in that position to always make a commitment to use your time, to use your talent, and to use your resources to add value to people's lives. There's so much more I want to say about this subject matter, but in closing I want to say this. Each and every one of you should get a copy of my book, Self-Application Best Practices, Transforming the Mind, Cracking Billionaire Codes. Each one of you, I want you to keep listening to this podcast, because I'm going to continue to bring life transforming information in this Success Accelerator initiative, in this Success Accelerator Masterclass. But today I want you to do a few things for me. I want you to make a commitment to leverage your time to do good in the world. I repeat it. I want you to make a commitment to leverage your time to do good in the world. Today is the day I want you to make a commitment to leverage your talents to do good in the world. Today is the day that I want you to leverage your talents to do good in the world. Today is the day that I want you to leverage your resources to do good in the world. Today is the day that I want you to leverage your resources to do good in the world. It has been a pleasure being with you. My name is Gary Thompson. I'm a business development consultant by profession. I'm a humanitarian by nature, and I'm the author of the book Self-Application Best Practices. And very soon you will also have Billionaire Codes. Now let me say this. One of the reasons that I'm doing these podcasts is that my passion lies with business and entrepreneurship. I want to raise up young minds. I want to raise up corporate minds to become the next generation of global thinkers, the next generation of social actors, the next generation of transformational leaders. But what I've recognized is that I will never be able to accomplish this dream of living a purpose-filled life by connecting with people and helping people to achieve massive change in their lives unless I can help people to change their mindset. And this is one of the reasons why the programs today, they're all about helping you to understand who you are, helping you to understand that you have a purpose, you have a passion, you have your gifts. and to give you information that will help you to start to live in complete alignment with who you are. And when you get this understanding, I now want to take you to another stage of development, and that is business. I believe that the entrepreneurs and the great minds in business are the people who will fix the problems in this world. I believe that you will fix the problem of reducing hunger and completely eliminating hunger, reducing poverty and completely eliminating poverty, reducing crime and completely eliminating crime. Wishful thinking, but so as a man thinketh, so is he. And if each and every one of you can start thinking this way, we are coming one step closer to eliminate the problems in the world. But I believe in you, and it's time that you start believing in yourselves. This initiative is powered by Global Branding and Marketing, and I want you to keep following this podcast. I would love you to like this podcast. I would like you to share this podcast, and I would also appreciate that you subscribe to this podcast. I would need your support to get this information out to as much people as possible. This initiative is not just for a single part of the world. The dream is to filter this information out throughout the world, and I want to say that we are so happy to have some of our support in North America. People like Stacy, who is beginning to help us to build that network in North America. I want to thank some of my contacts in the Philippines who are very excited about the content and about this program. I want to thank all of those people around the world who have started to log on to this content and have started to truly express how you're enjoying this information and you're playing your role in getting the information out. I want to say be blessed. I must thank my local team also, who is playing a very pivotal role in helping to get the word out. You guys are awesome. All of you guys are phenomenal people, and the journey has only just begun. I must thank you from the depths of my heart, and I'm looking forward to be with you in the next podcast. Be blessed until the next podcast. Remember, you are a phenomenal people. Nothing about you is average. You have just been socialized to think average, and today is the day that you have to break those shackles and make that commitment to come in to your greatness. Be blessed.